Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell and be the first to know when we drop a new video. Like and share with your fellow American patriots who love this country. And if you haven't even an American patriot, you are someone who believe and love freedom, love democracy, truth, and don't like corruption, hit the subscription button. Yes, you won't hear the story anywhere else but here at United we win, divided we lose. Because you know, as a people, whether or not you're black, white, yellow, green or blue, if you are not united and you are divided, you're going to lose. So you won't hear this from CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, NBC News or BBC or Al Jazeera, all of those big companies, media outlet. That we have in Jamaica, we have a foreigner, a man who was born, raised in Britain, has no ancestral ties to Jamaica except that his ancestors were slave owners in Jamaica. And this man is running to be Prime Minister of Jamaica. Yes, a foreigner. Remember, the last time I remember a foreigner that runs our leadership of a country was in in Germany. Hitler, a man from Austria, became the Chancellor of Germany. Now we have a man from Britain who wants to continue to colonize us. Our Jamaican-born Prime Minister was trying to get Jamaica to become a republic to shake off colonialism and everything that to do with it, the colonizer in England, and this was the man that stopped it. This man who was born and raised in England and benefited from slavery. His ancestors, they have one of the biggest plantations back in Jamaica. And when his ancestors freed the slaves, guess what? They took away the clothes from them. The clothes. So we have going further. I wanted to share these videos with the, you know, if you have 2 friends, 3 friends, share it with them, because my voice has been under attack by YouTube and people who work at YouTube because they are connected to these people. I don't know if this is a British operation, British intelligence operation, so the people at YouTube, I don't know if it's these people who want to tell you that up is down and down is up, and because I tell them that up is up and down is down and they don't like to hear the truth, why they're sabotaging my channels. You understand? They even, yes, so based on the subscription amount, I have surpassed the 1,000 subscription more than 3 months now. But you know that control the numbers at YouTube. So we have to do other things. They have done the same thing to the other channel because they don't like to hear the truth. You have to understand that these people are inherent liars, you know. And you know, liars, the only thing that liars eat are the truth. So moving on. So as I said to you before, and I say again, so we have a park in Jamaica they call Emancipation Park on August 1st, 1838, when the British, the colonizer, the slave masters, freed the slaves back in Jamaica. My ancestors, yes, I am black and I am proud. One of my grandparents is white from England. My father, they would, in Jamaica they call him mulatto, they call him mix, and my mother, one of her, both parents are black, but one black, but one of them she have European in her blood, so she's brown. So my grandmother is from England. That is my father, mother, she's white. I am not here bashing anyone, I'm just speaking the truth. If I don't eat anyone, because if I eat white people, I would eat my grandmother, and I can't. And without my grandmother, I would not be here on this earth and even in America. So, yes, as I said before, now, so we have a park in Jamaica where black people go to, you know, to view back where we're coming from as a people. And this is what this man, his ancestors, has done to us as black people in Jamaica. Took away the clothes of the backs of our ancestors and leave them naked. That's the day that they were born. So you look, you know, the man, that is the man with his soldier, you know, and the woman with her thing exposed. They took away the clothes on August 1st, 1838. I know this man who benefited from slavery. Somehow he was able to fall through the cracks, because in Jamaica we have 2 political parties. One of them is a criminal organization, the PNP. We call it the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, because they do not believe in God. Up is down and down is up, and they will tell black men that anything that you want to do, these are people who want to legalize incest. They have legalized all form of criminality. This is a party where you have convicted drug dealers running to become member of parliament. This is a party that have children whose fathers were most wanted men in Jamaica, criminals. This is a party that have a man who's known to have killed a judge and hundreds of Jamaicans, and his daughter is running to become a lawmaker. So this is a party where it's for criminals. If you're a parent or any relative of you have committed crimes on behalf of them, they put you on these people for almost 21 years. They have been in power in Jamaica, so they create this criminal ecosystem. So now that this white man is in charge of the same party, and he has been telling black people to kill black people so that he can become Prime Minister of Jamaica, in which they have killed some people, but that's over on another channel that we have, the Jamaica Young Police channel. They had killed a woman, Sweeney, and a young man named Rumpunch, and that's how we found out that he was not a Jamaican by birth, whilst he has been parading, telling people lies that he's a Jamaican by birth, until when I had talked about his I-94 visitor's record to the United States, and he confessed that he grew up here in Jamaica. But you know that in Jamaica, people, some people, they have a head but they don't have a brain. So the story of the big media won't tell how a white British man with slave-owning ancestry is poised to leave Jamaica in 2025. It is August 2025, and the political scandal of historic proportion is unfolding in Jamaica. Yet, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, BBC, Al Jazeera, and the other major international news networks are silent. There are no headlines, no documentaries, no hard-hitting interviews. The truth is being buried, and the people of Jamaica and the global black diaspora are being left in the dark. And you know, as usual, YouTube is sabotaging this channel because they don't want the truth to get out. So we tell you that YouTube, they are not for the betterment of this world. These are people who are inherently evil also. So I would say BBC, Al Jazeera, and the other major international news network are silenced. There are no headlines, no documentary, nothing. So how is it possible that a man born in Britain with no ancestral ties to Jamaica except through ownership of African slaves has penetrated the island's political system, risen to the top of a major party, and now stand on the brink of becoming Jamaica's next Prime Minister? In Jamaica, you have two set of people. You have a set of people who criminality is that what they're all about. These are the people that make Jamaicans a pariah in the international community. People want nothing to do with us because of these people. They were cultured, nurtured, domesticated to be criminal-minded people. These are people that are inherently evil. They are liars. They lie about even things when they don't have to lie. And they are criminals at heart. These are people that have been trained from they were born to be dishonest. And these are the people that they are behind this party. This party feeds upon propaganda and lies, and these people would believe. So this man is able to penetrate the political system, because the PNP is not a political party, it's a criminal organization. This is not a work of fiction. This is the reality of Mark Golden, a man whose family's wealth is inextricably tied to the profits of human bondage, whose bloodline benefited from the very system Marcus Garvey fought to dismantle, and whose political rise is lubricated by corruption and party notorious for promoting criminality. This is the place where people, the same political party, corrupt the Jamaican people that they can buy vote. People don't vote like when I was growing up. People vote because they vote for betterment. These are people that vote because they are told who to vote for. Then they can't think. The only Jamaicans that can think about are the people who are educated. That's the one who are anti-criminal. So you have a two-party now, one that is pro-criminal. On April 29th in Jamaica, the PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, aligned to Mark Golden. They tell the Jamaican people that they are for the criminals. In no uncertain way, on April 29, while the Jamaica Labour Party told the Jamaican people that we are for law enforcement officers, because Jamaica have seen a reduction in crime. because of this government that we have in Jamaica, while the other government thrive on chaos, supporting criminality. So let us be clear. Jamaica is not just another Caribbean island. It's a nation forged in the fire of slavery and colonialism. For centuries our ancestors were kidnapped, chained, whipped, and worked to death in the cane fields. Britain, the birthplace of Mark Golding, was the architect and beneficiary of that oppression. Golding's own family, like many in Britain's upper class, accumulated wealth from the forced labor of African men, women, and children. Those profits, passed down through generations, gave them privilege and access that the descendants of the enslaved could never dream of. To see such a man now vying to rule the very descendants of those his forebears exploited is not only an insult, it's an historical betrayal of monumental proportions. The political Trojan horse, the People's National Party, once a legitimate voice for the oppressed, has mutated into something grotesque. A political machine intertwined with criminal gangs, gun violence, killings, and corruption. In this climate, Golding rise was not blocked, it was welcome because of money. These are people that will sell them children for money. Why? Because the PNP is no longer about empowerment of black people, Jamaica's black majority. It has become about power at any cost. And if that means placing a British bondman with no genuine Jamaican heritage at the top, so be it. This is not leadership, this is treachery. The very fact that a foreign national could become the leading candidate for Prime Minister in an independent Caribbean nation. Even Jamaica is not independent because we are still under the rule of the British Empire. And as Jamaicans, we need visa to go to England. We cannot go to England to visit the king in England. We cannot go there. That is not our land. But yet they are the ones that they are the head state of our island. But we need visa to go there, just like how Jamaicans need visa to go to America and Canada. So that makes sense. So we were trying to become a republic, and it was this white man that put the spoke in it and said, no, we're not going to become a republic. We're going to stay with the crown. And then he comes with all kind of lies. He lies every day to the world. This is a man whose children were born overseas, and he lies that his children born in Jamaica. None of them were born in Jamaica. So the very fact that a foreign national could become the leading candidate for Prime Minister in a Jamaica speaks volumes about the erosion of political integrity. This man was able to get even a Jamaican passport, and he's not a Jamaican by birth. It is a clear signal that the Jamaica democratic safeguard have been compromised, allowing outside interests to infiltrate and dictate our politics. One might expect that such story would dominate headlines around the world. Imagine if the situation were reversed, if a Jamaican born man with no ties to Britain, whose family profited from enslaving Europeans, became the leading candidate for Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The outrage would be deafening. Parliament would be in uproar. The British press would never allow it. So why is Jamaica different? Why is the BBC not reporting this? Why is CNN not holding primetime panels to discuss the neo-colonial implications? The answer is uncomfortable. Black nations are not afforded the same respect for sovereignty. The exploitation of Africa and the Caribbean is so normalized that even blatant neo-colonialism barely registers in the halls of Western media. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Jamaica's first national hero, warned us over a century ago. A people without knowledge of their past, history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Garvey understands the danger of foreign control, whether through military conquest or political manipulation. He fought for self-determination, for the right of black people to govern themselves without interference from former slave masters and their descendants. The rise of Mark Golding is the exact scenario Garvey fought to prevent. It is a recolonization of Jamaica, not with chains and whips, but with ballots and the backroom deals. Why this matters now? In August 2025, Jamaica stands at a crossroad. Our ancestors fought, bled, and died for our freedom. That is now being undermined in plain sight. The fact that global media is silent only make it more urgent for Jamaicans and the African diaspora to rise and raise their voices. This is not about one election, it's about whether Jamaica will continue to be a sovereign nation or return willingly to control of those who once saw our people as property. It is about whether the legacy of slavery will finally be broken or whether it will evolve into a more subtle, insidious form of domination. The world may not be talking about this, but we must. Jamaicans at home and abroad must demand transparency, accountability, and above all, authentic Jamaican leadership. We must reject the idea that political office is for sale to the highest bidder or the most well-connected foreigner. The question we face is simple. The question we face is simple. Will we honor the sacrifices of Sham Sharp, George William Gordon, Paul Bogle, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Bob Marley, and Taki? Or will we hand the keys of our nation back to the descendants of the oppressors? History is watching. So are our children. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. Are you going to hear something that you won't hear on CNN or anywhere else? Because you have to understand that this is all about recolonizing a people in the Caribbean, Jamaicans, because they are black people. If it was the other way around, you would hear about it. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. Alright, there's a new saying in Jamaica that, you would hear Jamaican people, whether on the internet or in real person there, they will tell you that Jamaica is not a real place. Some things that they say happen in Jamaica that in other parts of the world, that's unthinkable. So today, we're coming closer to the birthday of our national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, a black man. Most people don't know how Marcus Garvey started to be a philosopher and start promoting blackness, Africanness. It's because when he was growing up, he had a white friend, a Scottish boy, that he had saved his life in the beach. He was about to drown. And right in front of him at the time, Marcus Garvey was 14 years old. And when the boy was leaving Jamaica to go back to Europe, the mother, right in front of Marcus Garvey, said to him, hey, make sure you don't write this nigger when you go back, Marcus Garvey saved this boy's life. He was about to drown in the sea in St. Ann. And that's when Marcus Garvey realized that his skin color was like a crime. And that's when he started his journey, a self-taught black man, self-conscious, love himself. So today, the worldwide media would not tell the world that Mark Golding, that's the man you see on the left there, is a foreigner running to become the Prime Minister of Jamaica, or descendants of slaves are supporting him. Let that make sense. We don't care about how them look. We are 100% Jamaican. 100%, not 75, not 20, none. 100% born, bred, and raised in our belly of the beast. And a white man from Britain is supposed to rule our country. And I am saying to the people from my community of Jonestown and Concrete Jungle, for decades, for the past 53 years, I've been living in squalor. The infrastructure in the community hasn't improved from the day I was born there. And it's always been controlled by the PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization party, whether they're in power or not. And their lives have been nothing but misery. The only thing that you can look forward to if you have a son, that he's going to become a criminal, a gunman, and he's going to be either killed by the security forces, his rival, or his friends. If you have a daughter, 9 out of 10 of them, you're going to be in a relationship with somebody who's a criminal-minded person, who's a criminal, whether them broke house, broke supermarket, wholesale, or robbery, or criminality. That's the kind of person that they are aligned to. They do not want police officers, soldiers, or educated people because they are seen as others. And now we have a white man who is the member of parliament of my community where I was born and raised. And I can tell you that I despise him with every fiber in my body. Why? Because this man has brought violence to my community. It's over 40 people, men. 3 of them I know, growing up. I'm not going to call them name. And that's why this is a personal mission for me against him and the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. And Rick Dick and Nine and all of these people. They're the epitome of evil. Oh, you're going to kill your own black people for your white big belly man from England. You know, so you're a traitor. And Judas, all I want. I don't want nothing from none of you people, nothing. The only thing I want from the people from Concrete Jungle and Jonestown, all of you. Vote for Jamaica Labour Party. We have to lose. For 53 years, we don't lose everything. We don't lose no dignity, decency, honesty. Them telling us for open on a batty wall and take it like the white man telling that to take it like a girl and that don't move on it. But yet still, these are the same people who tell the world that Jamaicans are homophobic. And so many people, thousands of black people running behind the white man, where I tell them say, for open their batty wall and take it like a girl. When they're not ashamed. And we if stand up for this. I 2 away from my age group left. From Jonestown. 2. Most of them are going to live to see my age. And this me I talk to you. We don't have to lose. We live in a broke down building and all kind of all on a life miserable. Look on the people them out of Southside. Look on the people them at Tel Aviv. The people them at Tel Aviv decide for change. And see it, even Raytown, the fishing village, them get light, things where them never have. Them have football and all of them things. Marcus Garvey, I turn in him grave. We see a white man benefit from slavery in him country, I run to become prime minister and black people are run behind him. This is slavery 2.0 all over. This is the same thing that black people did to Marcus Garvey when Marcus Garvey was running against the white man for the KSAC council. And Michael Manley father, Norman Manley called Marcus Garvey the nigger. And them thump him down and send him to prison for 6 months. And black people still run behind Manley, another white man from England. What Michael Manley have left us? Nothing but criminality, the father of criminality. So I tell you, say, Jamaica is not a real place. And here's the proof. Have you ever heard the saying, Jamaicans love to repeat when something so unbelievable happen that it defies our logics? And them said Jamaica is not a real place. You hear it all the time. Sadly today, that phrase feels more like a painful truth than a light-hearted joke. Because on God's earth, in a country that fought so hard for independence, in a nation born out of the struggle against colonialism, slavery, can a foreigner, a man born in England with no ancestral ties to Jamaica, infiltrate one of the major political parties and rise to become its leader? May that make sense to me? We are not talking about a man who came here as a child, who grew up in our communities, who live on our hardship and share our struggles. No, this man, Mark Gomebere Golding, a man born in Britain, the very nation that enslaved, brutalized and exploited our ancestors for centuries. People don't watch the views, just keep sharing the video, share it. You see, if I don't complain, we are complaining, because look, we get justice because we trust God. Them can't stop what we are saying. And yet here he is on the verge of becoming Prime Minister of Jamaica. This could never happen in America, where the Constitution forbids a foreign-born person from being president. Canada, where political reality would never allow a non-native born outside to lead the country. Britain, his own birthplace, where becoming Prime Minister without deep national roots is politically impossible. Even Russia or China, such an idea would be laughed out of the room before it ever reached a ballot. But in Jamaica, it's happening right before our eyes. And here's the bitterest part. It's not just the white foreigner is leading a black majority country. It's that the black Jamaicans themselves are running behind him, clapping, cheering and defending him as if a white man is going to save them from white man's oppression. Do we hear ourselves? Do we see the madness in this? It's the same psychological conditioning planted during slavery and colonialism. The idea that salvation must come from someone who does not look like you, someone who represents the very system that oppressed your ancestors. We tell ourselves we are free, but our actions reveal the truth. Many of us are still mentally colonized. We forget Marcus Garvey called for black reliance. We overlook the historical reality that the oppressor's role has never been to liberate the oppressed. So when I hear people say Jamaica is not a real place, I understand. Because in what real, self-respected post-colonial nation could the descendants of slaves willingly and power, political power to the descendants of slaveholders born and raised in the colonizer's land and call it progress? Today Jamaica is proving that the chains on our minds are harder to break than the chain that once bound our bodies. And we say this without any apologies. So, I don't know, our foreigner can lead a political party to run and become Prime Minister of Jamaica. Today is August 9th, 2025, and Jamaica finds itself in a political, cultural paradox. We are a sovereign nation, free for over 63 years, yet somehow, a man born on foreign soil, Mark Gumebere Golin, has risen to lead one of the two major political parties. The PNP, that are the People's National Party, or some people say the People's Nasty Party, and we say the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, and is now positioned to run for the highest office in the land, Prime Minister. For the casual observer, this may seem like nothing unusual. After all, politics is about votes, not birthplace, right? But for those who know the history of Jamaica's struggle for self-determination, this is more than unusual. It is deeply troubling. It is a warning sign about how power works in post-colonial nations and how easily sovereignty can be eroded without a shot being fired. Let's start with the legal framework. Jamaica's constitution set the eligibility criteria for members of parliament and prime ministers. It says to sit in parliament you must be a Commonwealth citizen, age 21 or older, and either born in Jamaica or be a citizen of Jamaica through birth, descent or registration. Here's where the loophole appears. Jamaica allowed dual citizenship with other Commonwealth countries, including Britain. There's no wealth in it. It's common poverty. Because Jamaica not rich, Jamaica poor. So they all put on all give a false hope, so we know commonwealth. We common poor. Common poverty. A foreign born individual with a Jamaican parent can register as a Jamaican citizen, even if they have never lived there. The Constitution does not explicitly require the Prime Minister to be born in Jamaica, only to be a member of Parliament and a Jamaican citizen. This means a man like Mark Gumebere Golin, born in Britain, can legally hold office without even being raised here, without having lived here through our struggles, and without any organic connection to the people he seeks to go on. Laws alone don't put someone in leadership. That requires a political machine. And the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization is a machine that has been running for decades with roots, political patronage, criminality, and entrenched power network. The PNP as a historical culture being open to foreign influence for two reasons. Colonial mindsets, a lingering belief planted during slavery and colonial rule that white or foreign educated leaders are more capable of governing. And that's how we get a Michael Manley. Black people, how the hell them expect a white man to save them for white man oppression? Political opportunism, a willingness to embrace anyone who can finance campaign, attract international attention and protect the party's interests. Mark Golding is not just a politician, he's a wealthy man with excessive connection to private sector banking, law, and a beneficiary of slavery. And benefit from the blood, sweat and tears of our ancestors. His money and influence buy him loyalty in the party that has long blurred the lines between politics and personal enrichment. This is not the first time Jamaica had a foreign-born leader. Michael Manley, the late Prime Minister, was born in Britain in 1924, and Michael Manley's daughter, Natasha Manley, her friends confirmed that Michael Manley in fact was born in England. I had spoken to one of Natasha's Manley friend who had asked me certain things and I obliged. His rise normalized the idea that a man not born on Jamaican soil could still be seen as one of us. But Manley's leadership came at a cost. His policies encouraged state dependencies rather than self-sufficiency. He politicized communities, creating deep divisions between PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, and JLP supporters. Under his watch, the political criminal nexus took root, where gangs became enforcers for political parties. Manley's foreign birth didn't stop him from becoming the most influential leader in Jamaica's history and PNP history. And it didn't stop him from reshaping Jamaica in a way that still haunts us. The criminal mind thinking, sympathetic to criminal. If you can be a chucky boo, violate other people's human rights, kill people, murder them, and then put you on a pedestal and do music about you, then you are not nobody. You do the right thing, you are seen as a nobody. If you never go to jail, people have no respect for you. How is that? The president has now paved the way for Mark Golding. The role of dependency and indoctrination. How does a foreigner convince millions of people to see him as their leader? By exploiting generations of political conditioning. For decades, the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization has built a loyalty, not through national vision, broad national vision, but through patronage, jobs, contracts, and handouts in exchange for votes. This creates an electorate that looks to politicians not as public servants, but as personal providers. Once dependency becomes the norm, the identity of the leader matters less than the promises they make. Mark Golding's benefits from this environment because many PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization supporters, voters and activists care less about his origin and more about whether he will keep the flow of political favors alive. Licky, traitors, wangagots, Judas and sellouts. Yeah, so that's it. They don't care about where this man is from. All they care about is trinkets, what they can get. Colonialism left behind not just economic scars but mental conditioning. For hundreds of years, Jamaica was ruled by foreign-born leaders. The slave masters, the governor, colonial administrators, they were never Jamaican-born. Many Jamaicans have subconsciously accepted the idea that leadership is not inherited tied to being of the soil. This mentality means that for some of us, Mark Golding, British birth is not a deal breaker. It's even seen as an advantage. In their eyes, British birth can mean access to civilized thinking, international networks, and higher education. They fail to see that this is the same foreign detachment can mean a lack of deep cultural understanding and loyalty to the Jamaican struggle. The danger of this connection, here's the real danger. A prime minister who is a foreign-born and culturally detached may lack the visceral, lived understanding of what it means to be Jamaican. He did not endure violence of the 1970s political war as I do. He did not experience the economic hardship of the 1980s IMF era. He did not grow up in communities where survival depends on unity and resilience. When you have not lived the struggle of a people, it's easier to make decisions that harm them because you feel those decisions only in theory, not in blood. Why this matters now? Jamaica is at a fragile point in its history. Crime rates are among the lowest in the world. The economy is growing. Tourism and remittance are up. Young people are not living in record numbers anymore. People are not hopeless. People are being, yes, black people are finally optimistic about their future. People don't want to leave Jamaica anymore. They're enjoying Jamaica now more than ever. In this climate, leadership must be deeply committed to nation survival, not just political, but spiritually and culturally. A leader must belong to the people in more than just legal terms. If Golding becomes Prime Minister, it would not just be a political win for the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. It bore a symbolic victory for the idea that Jamaica's destiny can still be decided by outsiders. That is a dangerous precedent for a nation still healing from the wounds of colonialism. History teaches us that the nation often lose sovereignty, not through invasion, but through complacency. In ancient Rome, leaders who lacked deep ties to the people often made alliances that weakened the republic from within. In Africa, post-independence leaders with foreign loyalties often signed deals that stripped their nations of resources for generations. Jamaica must remember that political power is not just about laws, it's about narrative. Whoever controls the narrative shapes the nation's future. Allowing a foreign-born leader to control the narrative risks reshaping Jamaica in a way that serves foreign interests first. We must ask ourselves the call to awareness. Would Britain ever allow a Jamaican born man with no deep British upbringing to become Prime Minister? Hell no, that would never happen. Would the United States allow a foreign-born citizen to lead their country? The US Constitution explicitly forbids it. Why then should Jamaica, with its history of foreign exploitation, be so careless with the highest seat of power? This is not about hate. It's about self-preservation. A Prime Minister must be the living embodiment of the nation's journey, not a political tourist who arrives with a passport and a promise. The choice is clear, Jamaica. The choice is ours. Mark Gummerbeer Golding candidacy is not just a test of political popularity. It is a test of Jamaica's national consciousness. If we choose him, we are saying that our history, our struggle, and our identity are secondary to party, loyalty, to political convenience. If we reject him, we send a message not just to the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, but to the world that Jamaica will be led by Jamaicans, born of the soil, shaped by our hardship, and committed to our future. The question is not whether a foreigner can become Prime Minister. Legally they can. The question is whether we as sovereign people should allow it. History is watching. Our children will live with the answer. We can't support a white man who has no ties to our country. Our country is at a crossroad. And today, August 9th, we pass to reflect on the fate of a small island in the Caribbean Sea, Jamaica, once called the Pearl of the Antilles, for its natural beauty, vibrant culture, and resilient people. But behind and beneath the lush hills and sun-kissed shores lies the painful truth. This island has been re-engineered into what many describe from a criminal's paradise to a paradise in the Caribbean Sea. Thanks to the leadership of this Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Holness, the black man. Imagine turning around a country that was once dubbed the criminal's paradise to the paradise in the Caribbean Sea. This transformation did not happen overnight. It began with the leadership of Andrew Michael Holness. But you have to remember, the man that created this criminal's paradise, the transformation, did not happen overnight. It began under the leadership of Michael Manley, a man not born in Jamaica but in Britain, but yet still able to rise to the position of Prime Minister. His tenure was not just merely a political era, it was a cultural and psychological reshaping of the nation. Manley preached ideologies that made dependency, licky, beggy, wanga God, jealousy, envy, wickedness, eroding the spirit of self-reliance that had been the backbone of Jamaica's people. That's how Marcus Garvey promote self-reliance, and him come and tear it down and turn the people them into some beggy, one got people, and them love it. Because guess what? Them now for work. Them want the state to mind them. Instead of fostering unity and enterprise, he create an environment where political allegiance became a lifeline to survival through the political machinery of the PNP, that are People's National Party, or People Nasty Party. Now I call it the PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, because born and raised in my belly of the beast, I have seen it all. This white man come and tell black man to open them body and take it like a girl, and not one of the people them flee from them and say, no, you can't support a party like this. But yet, these are the same people who tell the world that Jamaicans are homophobic. And if Jamaicans were homophobic, we had a Prime Minister by the name of P.J. Patterson. Everybody say my rear admiral. To this day, man, I must be 92, and him man never live with a woman yet. I tell you, I pay man always around him, and PNP people them vote for him. That goes to show you that these people, when they come on to morality, ethics, decency, truthfulness, godliness, them lack all of that. There's no bottom when they come on to the PNP. Them soul, they even went as far to say that they want to legalize incest. That man can have sex with them daughter, and daughter can have sex with the father, and mother can have sex with son, and vice versa. That's how low. Them can't go any lower. So at one point, through the political machinery of the PNP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, Jamaica was at one point molded into a one-party state in all but name, a PNP country. This was not merely about governance, it was about manufacturing of a mindset where people are lazy, and criminality is all about what they want, and you must give it to them, and if you don't give it, them kill you. The consequences were devastating: bad mind and envy towards neighbors who dare to succeed, distrust and hatred between communities, breaking the bonds that once held us together. A culture of criminality normalized, even celebrated, revered, lauded, and emulated under the guise of political power. If you never got jailed or killed people, or you're a murderer, you have no respect in Jamaica. You're a law-abiding citizen, you're a sucker. Only in Jamaica. Manley's policies sow the seed of a society where the line between politics and crime blur until it was nearly invisible. In this isle of division, gangs flourished, and the gun became as powerful a political tool as the ballot box. And now history threatens to repeat itself. Enter Mark Gummy Golden, Like Manley, he's a foreign born, hailing not from our soil but from Britain, the same Britain that once enslaved and colonized our ancestor. Yet here he stands at the top of the ticket, seeking to lead a nation of over 3.5 million people whose struggles, triumph and scars he did not live, inherit or endure. This is not just about citizenship on paper, it's about authentic connection to the nation you lead. Can a man who was not born here, who never ran barefoot on a dusty road, who never felt the burn of tropical sun while standing in a ration line, truly understand the beating heart of Jamaica? Some man never eat Nutribullah and bun and drink your old dirty milk. Never drink it still because it smell bad. Make you want bath. Although I never used to drink milk growing up. You don't know what it feel for walk barefoot. And then them pave the road and the asphalt start melt and it have bubbles up and you step on it and that burn you like you step on fire. You don't know that. This is not about citizenship on paper. We're not racist. Over racist. Racism is a system. We must ask ourselves, how can a nation that fought for self-determination now place its destiny in the hands of another foreign-born leader? We make the same mistake again. Michael Mann, the devastation of Michael Mann left power. That's why we have Klansman gang. Everybody wants to become criminal. And then they realize they are too into it. Prison or the departure lounge. But you take them a gravitator. While you have a black man who come from poverty, from board house. Most of us, well, some of us especially, from my community at Johnson, don't know about board house. But this man come from board house. And he's telling black people, hey, look, nobody gravitate towards crime, get a trade. Education is a key to make yourself a better life. You don't want to live, you don't want to say, boy, a 25-year lifespan and you want to become a criminal. You want to live and enjoy life. Live long. Have we forgotten the lesson of history? That policies shaped by outsiders often come at the expense of our sovereignty. Them seem to forget that. Oh, that happened to we, where black people forget that a foreigner will never, a white man never save black people from white man oppression. Because white man oppress we, and a black people oppress we, but black people are behind the oppressor's son. Is the comfort of political promises worth the risk of repeating the same cycle that plunged us into division and dependency before? This is not prejudice. This is patriotism. Leadership is not about holding office. It's about embodying the struggles and aspiration of your people. The Prime Minister of Jamaica must be one of us, not just in law, but in blood, in spirit, in shared history. The last time we allow a foreign-born man to hold his office, the cultural, economic and moral costs were catastrophic. Are we prepared to walk that road again? Jamaica must stand at the fork, in the road, one path lead toward reclaiming our independence in mind and spirit, governed by those who are truly of the people. The other leads back into the cycle of manipulation, dependency and the erosion of national identity. The choice is ours. History is watching. And we cannot, in all good conscience, run behind a big belly white man. No foreigner. Not supposed to be leading our country at no time. We don't want that. It happened once before. At the time our people weren't that intelligent. They were, they weren't that intelligent then. But we know that Marcus Garvey is turning in his grave. And he would have a message for his people. We cannot allow another white man to come and finish to destroy what this black man is building. If we can love our own people, we're going to love us. Have yourself a beautiful day.